By the time you finish watching this video, you'll realize that every financial lesson you learned in school was designed to keep you exactly where you are, not educated, controlled. They lied to you, not with malice perhaps, but with precision. From the moment you walked into your first classroom, you were fed a curriculum designed not to liberate you, but to prepare you for a very specific role in society, the compliant producer. Sun Tzu wrote, "All warfare is based on deception. The greatest deception of our time isn't happening on a battlefield. It's happening in a classroom." Today, we're exposing the three most dangerous lies about money that the education system planted in your mind. These aren't innocent mistakes. They are strategic omissions. And by the end of this video, you'll see exactly why they were programmed into you. Because once you see the code, you can rewrite it. Let's begin. This is the foundational myth, the cornerstone of your conditioning. Study hard, get good grades, work hard, climb the ladder. It sounds virtuous, it sounds fair, and that's exactly why it's so effective. But let me show you what they didn't teach you. In 1923, a meeting took place at the Edgewater Beach Hotel in Chicago. 9 of the world's most successful financiers gathered. These weren't just hard workers, these were titans. The president of the largest steel company, the president of the largest gas company, the greatest wheat speculator, a member of the president's cabinet. 25 years later, researchers tracked down what happened to these men. 3 died broke, 3 died in prison, 2 went insane, 1 fled the country to avoid prosecution. These were the hardest working men in America, and the system destroyed most of them anyway. Why? Because hard work was never the game. The game is leverage. Andrew Carnegie, one of the richest men in history, said it perfectly. The first man gets the oyster, the second man gets the shell. The system teaches you to work hard because hard workers are predictable. They can be measured, managed, extracted from. But the people who actually build wealth, they work smart. They use other people's time, other people's money, other people's expertise. Look at the modern tech billionaire. Do you think Elon Musk is personally soldering circuits in a Tesla factory? Do you think Jeff Bezos is packing boxes in a warehouse? No. They built systems that work while they sleep. They understood what the Prussian education model, the very foundation of modern schooling, was designed to hide from you. Your labor is more valuable to someone else's empire than it is to your own. The school system was created in the 1800s to produce obedient factory workers, not free thinkers, not empire builders, workers. And the core promise they sold you, work hard and you'll be rewarded, is just refined enough to keep you running on the treadmill without ever asking who owns the gym. The second lie is more subtle, more insidious. Be responsible, save your money, put it in the bank, build your nest egg. This sounds like wisdom. This sounds like safety. But let me ask you something. What is money? You probably think it's value. But that's not quite right. Money is a claim on future productivity. It's a promise. And the people who control the printing press control how much your promise is worth. In 1971, President Nixon ended the gold standard. From that moment forward, your money became a purely faith-based currency. The government could print as much as it wanted, and they did. Since 1971, the US dollar has lost over 86% of its purchasing power. That means if your grandfather saved $100,000 in 1971, that same money today buys what $14,000 would have bought back then. Your savings didn't just sit there, they were stolen, slowly, silently, by inflation. This is the hidden tax, the one they don't teach you about in school. The wealthy don't save money, they deploy it. They convert currency into assets that can't be debased. Real estate, businesses, stocks, commodities, gold. Warren Buffett famously said, "The worst investment you can have is cash." Why? Because cash is guaranteed to lose value over time. But the school system tells you to save. Why? Because savers are stable. Savers don't take risks. Savers keep their money in banks, where it becomes capital that banks can lend out at 10 times leverage. Your savings account isn't your security. It's the bank's inventory. You get 0.5% interest while they lend your money out at 7%. You're being farmed. The Medici family, the most powerful banking dynasty in history, understood this 600 years ago. They never hoarded gold. They moved it. They invested it. They used it to control kings and popes. While peasants saved coins in jars, the Medici bought the world. Here's what they should have taught you. Money is a tool, not a trophy. The moment you earn it, it starts dying. Your job isn't to save it. Your job is to convert it into something that produces more money. The system wants you to be a saver because savers are predictable, manageable, and most importantly, poor. This is the most dangerous lie of all because it sounds so reasonable, so achievable. Get a degree, get a good job, work for 40 years, retire with a pension. This was the American dream, the promise that if you played by the rules, you'd be taken care of. But here's what they didn't tell you. The rules changed, and nobody sent you a memo. In 1980, 60% of American workers had a pension. Today, less than 15%. The social contract was quietly rewritten. The ladder you were told to climb, it's being pulled up behind the people who already made it to the top. Your job isn't security. It's a single point of failure. One corporate restructuring, one market shift, one algorithm, and you're obsolete. Napoleon Bonaparte said, "In war, the moral is to the physical as 3 is to 1. The job trap isn't just financial, it's psychological. It makes you emotionally dependent on permission. Permission to take a vacation, permission to work from home, permission to leave early for your child's recital. You've outsourced your sovereignty to someone else's decision-making process. And the cruelest part, the system rewards this dependency with just enough comfort to make rebellion feel dangerous. You get the health insurance, the 401k match, the free coffee in the break room. These are the breadcrumbs that keep you from seeing you're in a cage. The elite don't have jobs. They have portfolios. They don't get one income stream. They engineer 5, 7, 10. They build networks of assets that produce revenue, whether they're working or not. Look at the Rothschild family. For over 200 years, they've maintained wealth across generations. How? Not through jobs, through ownership. They own banks, real estate, vineyards, art, businesses. When one stream dries up, 5 others are still flowing. You were taught to be an employee because employees are controllable. They have to show up. They have to comply. They can't leave without consequence. But the moment you shift from being an employee to being an owner, even a small-scale owner, the power dynamic inverts. You stop being subject to the system. You start being served by it. The education system will never teach you this because schools are funded by taxpayers who go to jobs. The system is self-replicating. It needs you to believe that a job equals success so that your children believe it and their children believe it. But here's the truth they'll never put on a syllabus. A job is the starting point, not the destination. Your goal should be to extract capital, skills, and connections from the job, and then deploy them into assets you control. So, there they are. The 3 lies. Work hard, and you'll be rewarded. Save your money, and you'll be secure. Get a good job, and you'll be set for life. These aren't truths. They're tools, tools of control. And once you see them for what they are, you can't unsee them. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." The system that was designed to limit you can now be used to launch you because you know its mechanics. You know that hard work without leverage is a trap. You know that saving without investing is suicide. You know that a job without ownership is servitude. The question now is simple. What will you do with this knowledge? Will you go back to sleep comforted by the familiarity of the lies? Or will you step into the discomfort of sovereignty and start building a life that belongs to you? The cage door is open. It always has been. You were just never taught to look for it. If you're ready to stop living by their script and start writing your own, subscribe now. Join our tribe of strategic minds who refuse to be farmed. Type sovereign in the comments if you're ready to reclaim your education and your future. The revolution doesn't start in the streets. It starts in your mind. Let's build empires, not resumes.